Hey, and welcome to Nash Rocket Media. This is the Shayhem Podcast. Lord have mercy. He's always naughty and nice. And I guess that comes in handy when you check your list. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
There's always gifts for both lists, right?
Yeah. It's Allstate insurance expert, Shay Seaver, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I got to tell you, this is the most interesting question what is this, episode 25,000 or something? I mean, this is...
I think so.
It's... This
when it's beyond my fingers and toes, I got to get a calculator to give you that answer.
This is the most interesting question we've had that I've seen anyway. We have had a few people over, and one of our guns is missing. What? Is this covered under our home insurance? I guess it's a reasonable question, but Matt,
it's actually legit, and it's very common. I've had the same question when it comes to jewelry. There's been plenty of times jewelry has disappeared. Guns are covered under your homeowner's policy if they're scheduled. There is limitations to theft, so you can have up to, I believe, $1,000 in gun coverage without it being scheduled, but it's subject to your deductible. Your deductible is going to be roughly either $500, maybe $1,000. In this case, the gun value was only worth $750. It wasn't scheduled, so that's one of those items that they would, have to eat. I do have some customers that have $10,000, worth of guns. It could be 10 guns or the 20 guns valued at $800 to $1,000, dollars a piece. But in order to have, from a theft standpoint, which is one of the worst claims that you could have besides fire, you would want to have the gun scheduled. And when you have it scheduled, like jewelry, you would have a $0 deductible. And if you wanted to file that claim, it may have been, depending on the value of the gun, or sentimental. If it was, I don't even know, if it was like one of my dad's guns, it's from 1976. If that was stolen, if it's a $750 gun value, it's more sentimental than it is value-wise. Is it worth filing a claim? Probably not, because I'm going to get charged for it over the next few years to get that gun replaced.
Explain to me, if you will, Shayhem, what does scheduled mean? What are we talking there?
Scheduled means, so you got broad coverage when it comes to your personal belongings. You don't have to, so when you buy a house or you have renter's insurance and you have contents coverage, the contents coverage is broad. So you have coverage for your furniture, your lawnmower, push mower, silverware, clothes, computer. When it comes to theft, they put limitations on items such as guns and jewelry, because those unfortunately are so easy to claim, especially when times get hard. And I've seen that happen to where people will file a claim just to get the cash on it. And they may have not, had it stolen or lost. They just want the money out of the claim. So in order to avoid that, underwriting guidelines is, if you want coverage, it has to be scheduled. I'm grandfathered in. I personally did have a $250 deductible. So that $750, I still would have got $500 out of it, but I still probably wouldn't have filed the claim, just because they'll get that back from me. But scheduling, mainly like a jewelry. I've had women schedule jewelry, like a ring, to where, they've lost it. It had to be cut off their finger because they were doing yard work. And so they cut it off. They turned that ring in, but got money to go buy a new ring. So it depending on the value, if it's several $1,000s, I would look at scheduling it, because it's only, maybe $10 per 1,000 to schedule jewelry or guns.
Gotcha. Here's a curious question. Shayhem, sir, would you rather vacation in Hawaii or Alaska, and why?
I would do both, but I couldn't do both at the same time. I haven't been to Hawaii. Well, I've been to Maui, but I have for a week. I think I told you that before. I'd probably go to Alaska first and then go back to Hawaii again. There's a quote that sticks in my head right now from Dalai Lama. It says, "You at least once a year go to somewhere different." I don't know the reason for that, but I like to go somewhere different. I've been to Florida 24 times. I don't want to go to Florida anymore. I want to go somewhere different. So I had a chance years ago to go to Alaska, do an Alaska cruise, but at the time it just happened during the school year. I couldn't go. So I really would like to try that again, to go on an Alaska cruise and see Alaska that way.
I am not sure in the era of COVID-19, a cruise ship is where you want to be.
Well, I guess we're talking about 2025, I guess.
Dear Shayhem, can I cancel my auto insurance policy anytime I wish?
You can. I always try to inform customers if they're canceling with us or they're canceling with another carrier and switching us, especially with us. I always try to, there's no penalty for canceling during a policy period. If it's halfway through the 6-month auto policy and they cancel 3 months into it, there's not a penalty for canceling halfway through the policy period. Some other companies, there might be some type of penalty for doing that. But then next question I get is, when I do cancel a policy, they may still get a bill for it and they want to know why. Well, sometimes it just depends on if their policy started on the 5th of the month, but they chose a draft date of the 15th. Well, we don't get paid for their policy until 10 days after it's actually in effect, which you can change that due date if it's on automatic draft. So if they cancel, they may still get a bill, or if they cancel, they may get a refund depending on when the actual day of the month the policy started and what day of the month they canceled it. So it's a great question. I get that all the time.
There he is, ladies and gents, boys and girls. He is the antidote to mayhem, the mighty Shayhem, and you can catch him right here every week on the Shayhem Podcast. We'd appreciate your comments, leave a like, and even subscribe. And we shall see you next week.
It's a better than good day with your Santa Shay. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to give us a call at 615-896-SAVE, 615-896-7283. Thank you for watching and have a better than good day from your Santa Shay.